I've been doing this Japanese Pokemon card YouTube thing for over 2 years now, and since starting, there's one word that whenever I hear it, fills me with fear, anxiety, and stress, and it's pre-orders. And if you've watched my latest video about the VSTAR Universe Pre-orders, you would probably see in the comments that's the most frequently asked question. I used to get really frustrated when people would ask me, how do I pre-order this set? You know, I didn't really understand why until recently when I thought about it a little bit more. I make a lot of videos here talking about Japanese Pokemon cards, and I think I get people excited about them, and that's a good thing. And people get excited about them, want to buy them, and then look for guidance on how to buy them. Thing is, now I don't get angry. Now I just get anxious when people ask me because I don't know how to answer this question. Now, this video is kind of a brand disaster, if we want to put it that way, because you know, part of what YouTubers do is they make videos to build affluence, get an audience, influence people, and then get brands to sponsor them, give them money to talk about their stores. This video is going to talk about stores, but I'm going to just share my opinion because we need to toe the line between libel, slander, and lawsuits. I don't want to get myself into trouble, but I do have an obligation to give you guys my unadulterated full opinion without any bias, with no money involved. This is just how I feel when I see some of the prices that are up for pre-ordering VSTAR Universe at the moment. And some of them, they got me a little bit fired up. The first that we'll look at is what's going on in Japan. And I'll just be very clear cut with you. A lot of these, you're not going to be able to get. If you live in Japan, you might stand a chance. But these are the toughest of all pre-orders to get. So this is a tweet that went up from Tsutaya, which is a pretty big chain store, just saying, I think this particular chain, which I think is in Hokkaido, is offering pre-orders, but you've kind of got to go to the store or you've got to go to the website and you need to have like a national, like domestic Japanese address. There are a couple others that went up. This is HappyNet, Yahoo Shopping. There's another here. I think this is Rakuten. And then there's this one, which is of interest if you are living outside of Japan. This is probably the first one you want to try and get in on. This is Amazon Japan, and it's basically a different system to what we usually see. In the past, you used to be able to just go and try your luck trying to check out when the drops happen. And I despise that word, drops. But you used to just shoot your shot basically and try to get it. And you were fighting bots and it was impossible. Recently though, Amazon Japan have changed their system where you have to request invitation. So this is almost like a lottery pre-order. If you're lucky enough and you get an invitation to buy it, then you can buy it for retail, which is fantastic because the yen is very weak against the US dollar. I think that's right. I was memeing about that in an old video, and then a lot of people tried to correct me. Listen, I ain't a fin, bro. Point is, if you're buying stuff from Japan and you live in the US, it's very cheap right now. So that's Amazon Japan. Request invitation and pray. And if you get lucky, you'll be able to buy it for the retail price, which is what you want to see. Okay, so with Japan's domestic stores out of the way, we'll jump into the first store that I'm going to talk about that ships internationally, which is HobbyLink Japan. And they sell a lot of lewd anime figures. Just ignore that for now. I'm going to cop a bit of heat because this is sort of like an underground store. People generally have great success at HobbyLink Japan because they limit how much you can order, and the drops, hate the word, they're sort of random. They happen at weird times. So there's like a 5, 10, 15 minute window where you can usually get a pre-order in. And the shipping is based on freight location. It's reasonable. But the main point is that you can actually get stuff here for solid prices. They've been doing it for a very long time. Even if you look at stuff that you can't get anymore, like Shiny Star V, it's at a decent price of 75 AUD. A recent set, Paradigm Trigger, it's there for 56 AUD. Like, these are solid prices. You've got to get lucky and time it and get the pre-orders in. But another really cool thing they do is that you can store it at their warehouse for, I don't know how long it is, maybe let's say 40 days, I'm not sure. And then you can keep buying stuff and then send that to the warehouse, and then they can consolidate it and ship it back to you so you can bring that freight down, which is just really nice. So HobbyLink Japan haven't put their VSTAR Universe pre-orders up yet. They'll probably do it closer to the date. But hey, don't get mad at me because I'm talking about HobbyLink Japan. I'm burning the whole thing down. I figure the whole situation's cooked. When we see the last store, you'll understand why. The only way to build, again, is to tear all down and start from scratch. These guys did Eevee Heroes for $56. And I didn't really talk about it because I didn't want to blow the lid on the whole operation. But, you know, a lot of people I know, a lot of hardcore collectors, friends, were able to get this set. Very high in demand. And now you'd be lucky to get it for what? 200 AUD. So HobbyLink Japan, they're one of the good guys. Another one that was, I think, a couple of days ago is JYW Pocket Card, Japan You Want. Now, this is a bit different because I feel like these guys get botted a lot. And honestly, Japan You Want, if you're watching, do something about the bots. You've got a pretty good system set up. And again, a lot of people are able to get it because you list it at retail price, and it's pretty apparent when you're going to do your drops. If you follow their Twitter, they put a tweet out when it happens. So you got to turn the notifications on, and then you got to try and pray, because you are most of the time competing with bots and it's very difficult to get through. They had 2 waves on Saturday, this Saturday past. The first wave is going to ship on the date, December 2, which is when it releases. The second wave is going to be a little bit later, December 5th, which suggests that it's going to be kind of similar to VMAX Climax, where there was a lot of supply. It just released in waves. And that's what a lot of this discussion is about, this first wave, where you kind of got to pay this really high premium that's, in my opinion, super predatory. Now, again, Japan Yuan, as far as I could see, did it for a solid price. It was close to retail. I know the freight adds up, but the freight and the shipping cost is totally dependent on where you live. So you can't really get too mad about them for the freight. And they've got even like relatively recent sets still in stock. They actually restock sets that have come out during the year, which I think is kind of cool. Space Juggler, which is like a pretty high in demand set in Japan, you can get it for 43 USD, which is like basically close to retail. I'll be surprised to see if this sells out after the video goes up, because it does have a big chase card, the Irida, and it's got the Palkia V, Origin Palkia V special art in it too. So if you ever wanted to get into Japanese Pokemon cards, honest answer, I would suggest Space Juggler. At that price, I feel like you'll have a little bit of fun. You can't really go too wrong when you're buying boxes at retail price. Another that we have to talk about, which is going to be, I don't know how this is going to go. I think it might be lottery, but who knows? They might do what they did with VMAX Climax last year and stock it just randomly, and you could get 5 boxes per person, and it was awesome. The good old days. This is Pokemon Center Japan online. Now, to buy from here, you do need to have a Japanese address. I made a video basically showing you how to do that, and you can do it with the help of Black Ship. This part of the video is not sponsored. I'm just saying you can use Black Ship to parcel forward with Pokemon Center online. But whether they're going to stock it and it's going to be a lottery or a first come, first serve, we don't really know. But they will stock it at some point. My speculation is they will stock it at some point. I have full faith that they will, because I think VSTAR Universe is going to be very similar to VMAX Climax in that it's heavily in supply. It's just a matter of these waves coming out. Even these 4 sets, which aren't popular, and they're not popular because they're not selling out. Another discussion for another day. You got Battle Region, Pokemon Go without the promos, Dark Phantasma, and StarTech 100 are in stock right now. So, I think VSTAR Universe, it's the last hurrah for Sword Shield. There's going to be a lot of it, but Pokemon Center Online, it's a wait and see. There's another store here, Hobby Genki. You may have heard of it. They stock right before release, usually like a week before they will list it, and then it's a matter of just being in the right place at the right time and getting your order in. Now, I will say that they do charge a little bit more than retail, and that's because a lot of these stores are selling Japan-only product internationally. So remember, guys, Japanese Pokemon cards, it says on the bottom of the box, not for sale outside of Japan. A lot of these stores, they're almost like drop shipping stores. They're not actually run by someone who lives in Japan, or maybe they do live in Japan, but it's almost always like an entrepreneur, a foreigner. Not that that really matters, but it's not coming direct from a supplier is the main thing. It's not like going to a store that sells purely Japanese Pokemon cards to a Japanese audience, like Card Rush, for example. These stores are totally different to that. So Hobby Genki will probably stock it. They haven't yet, but yeah, again, your mileage will vary on price. 6,300 for Space Paradigm. In the grand scheme of things, it's not too bad. That's that foreign tax, or the Gaijin tax that I sometimes speak about. I'm okay paying that Gaijin tax. That's a tolerable, palatable Gaijin tax that I can pay. But this next one, I can't stand no more. Now, this is Plaza Japan. Now, this is how they get you with the cutesy wootsy. They hit you with Anya, and they're like, yeah, that's how we get them. We weaken their defenses, and then bam, pah, they hit you with that. This is, in my opinion, it's something, all right? $144.90 is the Australian price. I think if you convert it to USD, it'll pop up, and it's something like $93 US. Do we want to do the quick conversion? Give me a sec. Okay, there's your quick conversion. $93 US to yen is 13,700 yen. That's nearly triple the retail price of VSTAR Universe. And now I get it. And I ain't going to do the song and dance about flipping and scalping. And, you know, we've been there. We don't need to do the whole, it's predatory, it's unethical. Like, they're making it hard for us collectors and players, shaking the fist, getting the pitchfork. We're not going back to those days. We're past it. We shouldn't be seeing this again. So I'm not trying to rile you up. I'm not telling anybody to go one way or the other. I'm just saying this is odd. And it's just, wow. Like, I know you can do it because, like, high demand, a lot of people want to get this set. But at that point, like, I don't know. Like, I personally can't stomach it. I'll tell you, this will come quickly based on past experiences. The following segment is conjecture and anecdotal and may or may not be true. I don't know. I'm just speaking figuratively. They'll ship it relatively quickly, or they might cancel your order, maybe relist it after for a little bit more. I may or may not have seen that happen at some point in time. I don't know. But if you're a content creator and you're all about getting those views and those clicks on day one, well, Plaza Japan is relatively good for that because they ship it really quickly. So yeah, this is a bit of now we get into the ethical discussion because I'm a content creator and I want to show you guys an unboxing and an opening of VSTAR Universe as quickly as I can. But I'm presented with a decision. Do I pre-order it at this price and condone essentially and support and galvanize and legitimize that price just to get the views? In the short term, you know, I benefit and I'll make the money back from buying this box, and most other creators will probably make the money back from buying this at this triple MSRP price and making the content. But you know who loses in the end? The little guy. You are the audience. You watching this video and you getting excited for this set. You will ultimately lose if I do that, because yeah, you'll get your entertainment and I'll get my clicks and I'll get my subscribers and I'll get my money from the revenue, but you won't get the box at a decent price. Now, I know this is going to sound sappy and like, oh, he's just saying it because he's trying to get subscribers and whatever. Look, you'll never know whether I am or not, but I'm pretty passionate about what I do with this channel. I've been devoting hours of my life to it for the last 2.5 years, and it's cringe, but I love you guys in a weird, non-weird, parasocial way. I don't want this to become like the standard. And if it becomes the standard, it's bad for me too, because then you'll stop collecting, you'll switch off, and I won't have anybody to watch my videos. So this is bad. Guys, do not stop collecting Japanese Pokemon cards. I will be in a bad way. I will say one other last thing about this that I thought was telling. Okay, I saw a review go up. A few of us actually saw a review go up on the website. And I feel like that needs to just exist in the internet space for the end of time, because it was pretty telling. VSTAR Universe by Daniel, 1 star. Was looking forward to this set. Other places had it listed, but waited for this site to have it up. Sad to say, this site has it at the most expensive. You guys know how popular it will be, so you're taking advantage of it. I'm disappointed. Maybe my last time shopping here. And that review is no longer there. No reviews yet. Damn, Daniel, your review may or may not have been deleted. Or maybe Daniel deleted it. Let's go with the good ending. Daniel deleted his own review. Now, I want to make this crystal clear, as explicitly as I possibly can, so that it is not open to interpretation. I am not saying where you should or shouldn't buy VSTAR Universe. That's a decision you've got to make, all right? You decide. But what I am saying is, if there is a product, who knows what product it is, all right? Let's say apples. Some stores selling apples for 5 times the price apples should normally sell out. But people keep going to that store and they keep buying those same apples. Well, that basically legitimizes it and endorses that price point, and that becomes the standard. And what might happen later on is other stores that sell those apples for a 5th or 4th or a 3rd or whatever it is of the price, they're selling the price less than the other store. They're probably going to look at that at some point and say, hey, why am I selling these apples for less when I could just go and sell them for the same as them? People will still buy it. Then we will lose the good prices. So I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm not buying VSTAR Universe for any of these crazy prices. I don't care if that means I miss the box on week 1 or week 2, or I don't get it for 3 or 4 weeks. I really don't care anymore. As long as I'm not legitimizing basically what looks like predatory price gouging. I'm not a fan of it. I don't rate it. And I don't think potentially hiding reviews like this is a good business practice. You know, look at what happened with VMAX Climax last year. It was available from December to September of this year. That's a good 9-10 months where this product was readily available on the shelves. I think VSTAR Universe is going to do the same thing. So if you can stomach the wait, you'll get it eventually. And I think we'll all be a little bit better off not paying these crazy prices. So if you've got questions about pre-ordering this set, ask me. It doesn't make me angry. I will try my best, but just understand that the situation is a little tricky and I don't want to lead you down a path that I don't truly believe in, because I like this hobby and I want to see people hang around it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that today. Catch you next time, guys.